Hi Taurus, welcome to your June reading. It is June 2nd. The flags are for my son's birthday. It's a beautiful breeze. Let's get started, yeah? So, June, I'm sorry about my voice. I lost my voice during my birthday weekend, which is dope. So, all right, here we go. So, June is about family. It's about nesting. It's about relishing life. Something happens or has happened that's given you, it shook things up. Vedic Taurus, I thought I was pregnant. You've had to either, because of life coming in or life going away, life or death has shocked you into a place where you're really thinking about life again. Like you need to reassess, right? Life's too short. I don't want to live like this. Life's too beautiful. I want to live somewhere else. Some of you are like, why don't I live near the water? Why do I live somewhere cold? Why do I live somewhere that doesn't suit my body? Why am I living somewhere that doesn't suit my soul? And the reason these conversations are coming up is because you're wanting to get the most out of life. You're wanting to make the most of your time. You're wanting to live in a state of abundance. And anything around you that isn't reflecting that right now is becoming problematic for you. You want good times. You want happiness. You want security and, that homey, warm feeling when you think about your home and your house and your family and your people. You don't want any more of this. Whatever it is, however it happened, it was too much. And it, kind of like reset your brain, like this is not how I want to live, whether it's through your own actions, mistakes you've made, whether it was something completely unrelated to you that it was just really jarring, like this is life, this is how life can be. And you're like, I don't want this. I don't want this. This is not how I want my life to be. However much is left of my life, I don't want it to be like this. I want to plant some new seeds. I'm tired. I'm tired of the pain of things. I'm tired of that pain that we're supposed to accept, that just comes with life. You're supposed to roll with it. And everyone's always telling you that, that's just life. You got to deal with it. In June, especially after June 5th, when Venus moves into Leo, you're like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe it has to be this way. I believe that it can be more than this. I believe that it can be better than this. I believe that I can create something more secure, something more abundant, something that gives me that feeling of safety that I need. I believe I can do that. There's no more longing left in you. Now you're about the action. Now you're like, no, I'm going to go do this because whatever this is has shown me that I'm prioritizing the wrong stuff. I really need to get on this. I really need to figure out what's important. And as soon as you have that conversation with yourself, it's like your Taurus instincts are like, what the fuck do you mean? You know what's important. Can you please chill? Can you please chill? Can you please chill? Right? And what's important is, getting back to that time where you knew what to invest in, when you knew what was what, when you knew where you wanted to plant those seeds. You know what I mean? Sure, some stuff happened, this 3 of Swords. It's like the past 5-6 years, yeah, it's been hard. There have been many moments where you're like, I can't plant seeds in this soil. It's not good. I don't want it. But there's nothing else to do. Like, I don't know. I want to build a hearth. I want to build a home. But this foundation is not okay. And you've struggled through that and you've lived in this 3 of Swords space. But now the Wheel of Fortune is like, now it's okay. This shocking thing has reset your mind to, maybe we need to get back on this. Maybe we need to start seriously thinking about where these seeds can be planted, because where I am right now, no. So this is going to change how you deal with people. And whenever you start dealing with people differently, we've said this from the beginning since I started doing readings for you guys, people get upset. You never realize how much power people have over you or pretend to have over you until you buck, right? And once you do, people are like, whoa. And then all of a sudden you realize, when you buck, then you realize how many people have been on your back the whole time. And you're like, okay, I get that I couldn't sense that you were on my back because I'm so strong that I could carry it. I'm a pack animal. But my thing is, why did you, knowing that I didn't know you were on my back, why did you stay there? Why are you willing to let me do the heavy lifting even when I don't know I'm doing it? How is that fair? This wanting power over you but wanting your help at the same time, shit is whack. It is. It's whack. Like, it's one thing to take from people, right? It's another thing to, like, be a burden on people, right? It's another thing to be a burden and also want the power. I got into a pretty heated discussion on my birthday last Saturday where I was saying, mad people took from me, stole from me. And the whack part is, the saddest part is, if you had asked me, I would have given it to you. I would have given you twice that. But who wants to lower themselves to ask? When you could steal, who wants to lower themselves to ask when you could just steal? Isn't that wild? That people have so little honor that they're okay with stealing, but not okay with humbling themselves enough to say, hey, yo, I need something that I don't have. Why should they have to tell you that they need something? Why should they have to see that look of satisfaction on your face that you're not even going to have on your face about, oh, now I'm helping this person? No. Why would they do that when they could just shank you? And some people are so degraded. They're like, well, at least I stabbed you in the back. Nah, I would have preferred you stab me in my heart. At least I could see you. At least I could see your eyes while you're doing it. But these people that don't want you to make a new home, these people that don't want you to understand and reprioritize and live according to what's actually important, the people who don't want you to do that, they're tight. Because they want control. How are you going to control somebody who's figured out what true abundance is? How are you going to control a Taurus who finally figured out what real wealth is? You can't. Because as long as we're running in that mill where we think that wealth is something out here, money, this, that, as long as we're running on that mill, they got us. They can manipulate you any way they want, and they do. They manipulate you with sex, with food, with money, with ambition, with FOMO, But what happens when that same person, that's so easy, you could just press a button and they go this way, you press a button, they go that way. What happens when you're pressing those buttons and nothing's happening? Because that person figured out through some terrible shit, like, the fuck am I doing? None of this shit is important. Now, you're not going to make me react to that. I'm smarter than that now. This shit isn't important, and neither are you. And that's when you're really going to see these Queen of Wands come out. Oh my God, all the prima donnas that you've created in your life. All these bitches that you put on pedestals and you didn't even know you were doing it. You were literally just being nice. I say this all the time when women hit on me. Bro, I'm not hitting on you. I'm just respecting you. You've gone so long with not having basic respect that me respecting you seems like I'm trying to seduce you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it. You're like, nah. This isn't good enough for me. And what I'm going to do now, the way I'm going to go live my life, the choices I'm going to make, the priorities that I've set for myself, they're much more ethereal. They're much more spiritual now. Like, you've lost this, like, urge, to fucking fight with people and, like, try to, like, script and scrounge and like, all this nonsense. And it's been happening around you. The more you get, like, copacetic and into your bag and into, like, this peaceful, like, I just want to settle down, the more this energy wants to kick off. If your partner is like this, if you're in an established relationship and your partner is like this, June is very difficult, because the more relaxed you get, the more they're going to be like in your face, like, what the fuck? Like, You know, I know that the tower in reverse didn't happen to you, but at least you could learn from my experience. Like, this shit is temporary. That's what keeps like echoing in my head about Taurus right now. Taurus is like, this shit is temporary. This shit is temporary. This shit is temporary. Yeah, it is. It's always been temporary. And that's why reassessing constantly and adjusting your priorities is very important, because this shit is mad fucking temporary. These temporal thrills, these, you know, hard and fast thrills, this shit will get you nowhere. And I think that that's what you're waking up to. This thrilling, empty life doesn't seem so thrilling anymore, because you see the other side of it. You see what happens the next morning, right? Being in the club is mad fun. Being in the club is mad fun, but Taurus been in the club for mad long, right? Now it's like, this is like when you wake up the next morning, or like you gotta go home from the club at 4 a.m. and you can't keep more than one song on for 10 seconds because it irritates you. Now you gotta switch songs. You high as fuck, you drunk as fuck, you out here just fucking wildin', and it's not fun. And it's not fun. This is like, for me, this seems like the come down, but like the cosmic come down. You know what I mean? Like, where you're finally like, you know, I think I might need some rest. Like, I know I'm a legend, but I think I might need a little rest. I'm going through a lot, you know? You're going through a lot, bro. You're going through a lot. You're going through a lot. And you've decided that you're going to act like you're going through a lot. So there is a subset of Taurus that loses their partners this month, but like, you want to lose them. You may not admit it to them. You may do a little like song and dance, like, oh, please don't leave me. You know, baby, don't leave me. But like, you really want them to leave. This fuckboy card don't lie. You want them to leave. And that's okay too. You know, they're going to leave. They're going to leave. Ironically, as soon as they leave, you're the one who's going to be upset and want them back. So what I would suggest is not throwing out the baby with the bathwater just because you've decided to change your life. I'm happy that you're changing your life. I'm happy that you have, you know, this newfound like way out. Like, you got it. Like, you figured it out, right? You figured it out. I know what in the way that I think has been holding me back this whole time. I understand now what I need to deprogram so I can get this, like, the most juice out of this orange called life. I don't want to, it's become broader is what I'm trying to say. It's much more expansive than just money. Now the money means something else. Okay? Let me explain. Taurus is a sign that's often associated with money. We know that. Right? It's associated with decadence, opulence, money, leisure, wealth, luxury, all these things. And that nature of yours doesn't change. It's what you define as that stuff that's changing, and it's changing very rapidly. So if you find yourself very confused at the choices that you're making, if you find yourself spending too much money, if you find yourself like the money is coming in and out your hands like water, it's because you've realized something that it was like the complete opposite of before. You've completely changed tracks. Where once you held like this, now Venus moves into Leo, and we'll have this interesting set of aspects with Pluto across from it, and your hand is opening. You know, this thing called money, this passing trust, this thing called wealth, it wants you to understand it deeper. It wants you to look past your cursory understanding of it. It wants to know you better. It wants to help you get to know yourself better. And these are very noble pursuits when it comes to money. It's the kind of thing that attracts money. Money's like, oh, that's what you want from me? That's kind of cool. I would like to be a part of that too, right? So your identity is shifting, not in that what's important to you is shifting, but what's important to you, it's not that what's important to you is shifting, it's what those particular things are within those definitions that's shifting. So you still want security. You still want wealth. You still want sex. You still want food. You still want connection. But the face that comes in has changed so much. Something like tore the veil off for you. And you realize that all the things that you were taught about abundance, they don't add up, because they're not creating the feeling within you that you want. When you see that this life is temporary, something in you starts to jump. Something in you becomes anxious. There's an anxiety that comes with the temporal nature of the world. It's just, it's part of that existential dread that we live with. But Taurus never gets too close to that. Taurus stays in that part of life that's like fun and jovial and jubilant and consumptive. Like, you like to consume, you like to rest, you like to get, you like to get it. But this deeper, much more esoteric side of life, it's calling you, whether it's been through like a death, a sudden love affair, a sudden new friendship that's really important, a collaboration where you feel really like in tune, you feel loved, you feel supported, whatever it is that sparked, this thing in you, it's not going to leave you alone now. Now it wants you to reorganize your life. It wants you to be true to what you figured out, instead of ignoring it and continuing to pretend that you're something that you're not. You're not that person anymore. You're not that person that just wants riches just to have riches. You're not that person that wants the riches to get the bitches. You're not that person. Something happened and you were like, fuck, life is short. This is bullshit. This is not what I want. I want meaning. I want connection. I want security. I want safety. I want good times that I don't have to feel bad about the next day. I want more. I want more. And it's not more like you're looking out here and you're saying to the people like, I want more from your partner, from your job, from God, from the universe. No, it's like you're telling yourself, this is about you now. Like, I want more out of this. I got it in front of me already, and I've been squeezing it here and there, and I got but now you realize that you could really squeeze the fuck out of this, and you could get a lot of juice out of it, and you want it. And that juice now just comes in so many different faces. And this is something you're going to have to get used to. This abundance is different. This experience is different. This time that you're given is going to change you in ways that you cannot imagine. Because in the I Ching it says, going up the mountain is wonderful. We all know what the ascent is like. But going down after you've been at the top, back down, this is a place of mystery. Right? The far side of the mountain is a mystery. We have no idea what it's like to come back down. We have no idea what happens after completion, right? We know that the wheel of life keeps turning, but this is like a completion moment for you. There's a lot of fruition here. You understand. You get it. You can call it maturing. You can call it an epiphany. You can call it an aha moment. But regardless of what you call it, what it means is that we're at the grown-up table now, and you're very happy about that. You're comforted by being at the adult table. You feel like a fucking adult. You want things like adults want things now. You have grown up. And there's nothing to be afraid of. Actually, there's a lot to be proud of. Because if you are careful and you use your money wisely at this time, you can create so much abundance, not just for yourself and not just for the people around you, but like literally everywhere you go, you're going to be like dropping coins. You know what I mean? Because once we figure out the true nature of what kind of wealth we need and is important to us, we figure out something very fundamental about money itself. And when we figure that out, money knows that. And money starts to become more and more attracted to us because it knows that we're not misusing it. Do you know what I mean? We're not abusing it. We're not putting money in a position that it regrets coming to us. You're going to go ahead and get the mental right. Like to the point where it's so right and your priorities are so right that the money has no choice but to come in because it agrees with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It agrees with the way that you want to live, and it agrees with your definitions of wealth. And that's a huge part of attracting wealth. Many, many, many people will not tell you this. Almost anyone, will keep this to themselves because it makes making money so easy. And, people are just fucking haters. They don't want you to know, So it's fantastic as Taurus readings go because it is confirming, you know, everything that you may be feeling at this time, and confirming that this feeling does bring in a wave of wealth. But more so, it's pretty like clearly laid out, and I like that. You know, it's like the cards are like, yeah, you can't talk about money with the Taurus without being, you know, really like just dead ass. This is what it is. So it's an adjustment. You may for a little while be like, you know, what does this make me? Like, where's my identity in all this? And that's going to be the most beautiful part, is that your identity will start to come more and more forward. Parts of yourself that you probably didn't know about will start to shine. And that will be really, again, comforting. It will make you happy. It will make you proud. It will be exciting to see different parts of yourself step up and take the stage and take the spotlight, because they know what this new wealth is. They know what this new abundance is. They know what this feeling is that they have inside, that they've been chasing ever since. And that feeling comes down to, this shit ain't real. It's not as important as you think it is. We got a very short time to be here. And if that's what we doing, I want to rock all the way out in a way that is meaningful. That's the rub. It's meaningful, because whatever happened, whatever this Tower, Ten of Swords moment was, it made you realize that life can go from very meaningful to meaningless like this. So while you got that meaning and when you got access to it, you got to fucking juice that, baby. You got to. Because you got the juice. Me too, but you got the juice. Let's look at these cards.